question I wanted to bring up is a lot of people say, why am I not recovering? Why am I not seeing progress in OCD recovery? I feel like I'm trying hard, but I'm not actually seeing progress. What's wrong? And usually, when we start to, when a person is my client, right, and we really kind of go in depth in trying to figure it out, usually it comes up with there's a lot of reassurance, a lot of analyzing that the person is doing that they're actually not realizing that they're doing. I would say in like 95, 99% of the time, it's that. Because with physical compulsions, you're either doing them or you're not. Sometimes people don't view something as a physical compulsion. They think it's just how they do things or whatever. But most of the time, it comes down to analyzing. So really examine how much time you gave to this theme. Or what I was talking about yesterday is maybe you're not analyzing your theme, but you're analyzing the process of recovery, or you're analyzing how bad the situation is in general, like, kind of a why me thought process, right? And you have to always remember that your brain doesn't really care what you are analyzing, as long as you are sending the message that I'm in fear, I'm in danger, and I am protecting myself by trying to figure it out. Your brain's like, okay, you're in fear, you're in danger, don't worry, I'll send you a lot more thoughts on whatever it is you're worried about. I'm on it, I'll send you a lot more thoughts. And then you get a lot more thoughts and you're like, why me, what's happening, So I would say really focus on, okay, so what happened this morning? What is going on? Another reason why you might not be seeing progress is have to do with life circumstances. If you are very stressed, if there is actual reasons why you would feel bad in addition to OCD. So say, for example, you feel depressed because you have OCD, but you also could feel depressed because you're going through something right now in life, and you're in a situation that's also depressing you, right? So you have to look at your life overall and what you can do with it, with those situations. Is there a way where you can reduce stress? Maybe I never advocate for quitting jobs or quitting school while you're in recovery, unless it's an extreme situation, because I find that the more the person has to refocus on, the better. But you kind of have to have, a balance where you're not going so far where you're overextending yourself to the point where you can't concentrate on exposures. And because a lot of times if the person is really stressed, they'll make an argument that it's easier to do a reassurance behavior because I just can't handle going through not getting reassurance and then obsessing and then worrying and then trying to disregard and all of that. I can't deal with that right now because I have a lot of real life stuff. But what's going to happen is you're going to keep putting it off, and the reassurances are going to grow and the fear is going to grow. And then if the real life stuff doesn't get solved either, it's all going to compound and get you all at once, at some point. So you do have to put your recovery as a priority. Analyze not from a position of obsession, right? But from a position of mindfulness. Where am I going wrong with this? What happened in the last few days? Was I really stressed? Did I get caught up on any thought that has to do with anything? Did I really overanalyze anything? Maybe I asked for reassurance. Maybe I avoided a lot of things. So maybe you didn't really get a lot of thoughts, but you're avoiding everything inside because you can't deal with things, right? So really seeing what is happening as an overall picture, and then making adjustments. And in terms of adjustments, I'm not telling you to cut out everything completely all at once. If that's too overwhelming, which it is for most people, start somewhere and day by day refuse to do something. In terms of the analyzing specifically, maybe pick a time in the day where, okay, during this time, I will analyze, but I'm only going to do it once, and I'm only going to do it for 10 minutes. And anything beyond that, I'm not going to do. And then after that, when it tries to nag at me and say, you need to do more, I'll say, well, I already did my time today, and I'm not doing it until tomorrow, same time. And then as you get more comfortable, try to delay more and then go maybe 2-3 days, between analyzing, right? So kind of monitor yourself and cut back as much as possible. Ideally, you want to reduce analyzing entirely, because when you are giving yourself time to analyze, you kind of, in a sense, make it worse, because you bring up those feelings of fear. You are still taking a step back. It still is a step back, but I'm just saying it would be better to analyze once a day than, the entire day, if those are our two only realistic options. But if you can hold off and keep delaying, keep delaying, keep delaying until the evening, and then in the evening say, you know what, I'll just delay till morning, that's a better, that's much, much better way to go. But you have to work with what you have right now, because what's going to happen is, when you delay, at least somehow, reduce at least somehow, you will go down from 10 out of 10 anxiety to, say, 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10. And from that position, you can handle things a lot more. So when you're at 8 out of 10, maybe you can say, you know what, I'm just going to not do it. So that's kind of it's a stepping stone, and for quite a few people, that is a helpful way of doing things. Another thing I also wanted to mention in this video is, you got to give yourself enough time to actually have your brain adjust, because an adjustment on a physical level is taking place in your mind. And you can't say like, well, I've been doing this wrong for long, long time, and now I've done work for a whole entire day, and why am I not recovered? I should be fully recovered. I've done work for an entire day. You can't do that. Your brain is very much adjusted to you being in panic all the time. It's very much adjusted to you taking these thoughts seriously. So it has to unplug. It has to shift how it's viewing this thought. So to the brain needs a lot of proof that this is not valid. And the only way it can get that proof if it sees you refusing to pay attention to the thought, refusing to do compulsions, whether mental or physical, and look, you're still alive, nothing bad has happened. That's proof to the brain that this is not all that valid, and it needs to get enough of this proof, and that might take a little bit of time, So I would say, day to day, don't even expect progress. If you get it, good. If you don't, that's normal. Week to week, though, you should be seeing progress. So you should be able to say, you know what, I've been doing work all week, and this week I do feel a little bit better than the previous week. So look at it this way. If week to week you get better even 10%, then in 2 weeks it's 20%, right? In a month you got 40% better from where you used to be. So it's, just take it day by day, but do as much as you possibly can in every single day, and don't look back. Another thing people do a lot of the time is, as people start to get better, from a much more lower anxiety perspective, a much healthier perspective, still not recovered, but healthier perspective, they're going to be like, well, if I just check now that I'm more rational to see if that thought actually had any validity, and then boom, they're right back in it. The anxiety is through the roof, they're back. So you have to keep walking the path without looking back. So those are just some of the things I kind of wanted to bring up. If you have questions, please leave them below any of the videos. Again, I am doing the Q&A. I am. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. If you would like to do the recovery program, as you know, all the information is on youhaveocd.com. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.